to a guy with a bag? What's heart to a guy with some cash? What's pain to a guy that's mad? Said, what's broke to a guy with a mask? What's both to a guy with a plan? I just wanna kick it, that's all I ask. Like, let me explain what I did. Can I kick it? Hold on. Yeah, I got some rings and a range. Can I kick it? Yeah. Don't ask me a thing. How I got her, how I did it. Yeah. Spend the whole half, had a blast. Can I kick it?
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone. The Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. This one complete to Scott Miller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Jackson from the shotgun. He'll let one go deep for Howard. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. From the gun, Jackson. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time, separation. That's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
4-yard attempt.
And this one is right down Broadway. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead.
Buccaneers 3.
They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
On play action, it's Kaepernick. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy Bunting. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
That's caught by Howard. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And some space here. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
Jackson. Going for Howard, but the pass intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
They'll take over.
He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw. Because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Antoine Winfield up from the secondary with a tackle.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Back near his goal line. Here's Kaepernick. And this one is incomplete. Tight end Herb Smith, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get. Taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Handoff comes to Cook. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
The ball carrier.
Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Again, the ball
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And it's pretty evident when you watch how Minnesota plays, just how important Dalvin Cook is to their offense. A 1,000-yard rusher a year before, the first one the Vikings had since Adrian Peterson was dominating their carries. And having Cook in the lineup for the bulk of the season, that made Minnesota exactly what their head coach Mike Zimmer wanted them to be. A much more physical team that complemented their defense. He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
Kyle Rudolph.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now Kaepernick. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
That's the end of the first.
They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Kaepernick. Lets it fly for Thielen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. Then he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 11 yards there, 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
This time, Jackson will throw it. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And a first hook up with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He completes this into the hands of Miller. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
3rd and 2.
From the gun, Jackson. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10, marking down at the 9.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
He sets up the screen to Jones. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That catch good for only a couple.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To throw again on second down. Jackson. And he's got Gronkowski. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Rob Gronkowski. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip.
Makes the score Buccaneers 10, Vikings nothing. Suckup set to kick.
Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
First down, Minnesota.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Kaepernick. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Now it's Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Jackson. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact. But in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
On 3rd down, Jackson looking downfield for Godwin. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 27, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. After the interception, here's Jackson. Flush to his right. And he Here's one incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into a bigger points. They're thinking.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Now Kaepernick. He will find the rookie from LSU. That's Justin Jefferson.
Complete.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Shotgun snap now for Kaepernick. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Throwing now is Kaepernick. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Intended for Adam Thielen. Incomplete. It's 3rd down. And 5 yards to go.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Kaepernick to throw again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Here are the the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Again, it's Cook. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
And there's the anchor of this line, Big Vita Vea on the tackle, former first-round pick in his 3rd season now out of the University of Washington.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing, they're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, it's Jackson. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
The 2nd and 10 now as we roll along in the 3rd quarter from Tampa. And his throw here is incomplete. The Pro Bowler Chris Godwin, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Now Osborne to return it. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Right there.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12.
Dalvin Cook.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Brings up
this offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, Kaepernick. And my goodness, another interception. picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point up and good by Succa. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Alexander Madison.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Back to the ground on first down. Here's Madison. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 39-yard line, here comes second down and 6. A give. This is Cook. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
On the carry.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And the box with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. They run it again with Cook. It looks like he's going to be stopped short of the first down by about a yard. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on fourth down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run
the Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Back now in Tampa. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's second and 21. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll go again to Jones. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down.
For the Buccaneers.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. On the return is Osborne. It's a 40-yard punt, but they lose yardage on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10.
2-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On the carry, it's Cook. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And it would appear that the open week a week ago came just at the right time as they have dominated the proceedings here into this 4th quarter. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
It's a pickup.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
He's got Evans. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one goes for 30 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Again, the ball carrier.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Bucs on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Jackson from the shotgun, eluding the pressure right. Looking for Gronkowski, and he's got it complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal.
A pickup of 2 brings up second.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a second and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Levante David in on the tackle.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cook. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a give to Madison, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Shaquille Barrett there pushing upfield to make the stop.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Going to run with Madison again. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good.
Vikings.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.